AHMAD ASRI.
And my name is Aiman Syahira binti ABDUL RAZAK.
The research title is a database development on Malay manuscript in scope of medicines from 17th to 19th century. Background of research. This research is about developing a database that content of Malay manuscript and placing ancient Malay manuscript that have been translated in Malay language into a database. The aim is to facilitate the public, especially for students that learn manuscript, to make their work easier. The public can access the manuscript anytime and everywhere, and to preserve the physical manuscript.
Okay, in this research, there are two problem statements. First, nowadays, the public are having difficulties in accessing the Malay manuscript. It is because there are no alternative technology or method that make it easier to read the Malay manuscript. In the article of creating a digital library to handle Malay manuscript using Keystone, in this article they mentioned that the problem to access the historical collection of Malay manuscript is scattered in repositories around the world. Okay, second, the problem is it is because the lack of researchers who can read the old Jawi script. There are not all people can read the old Jawi because it is difficult to understand that handwritten due to the age of old manuscript. Research objective. There are three research objectives in this research. First, to develop a database on Malay manuscript that have been translated. Second, to determine a suitable method in identifying the difficult terms and keywords that contain in Malay manuscript. Third, to create and existing the list of glossary or index that contain specific terms of Malay manuscript into a database. Research question. There are three research questions in this research. First, what is the method to analyze the database of Malay manuscript that have been translated? Second, how to determine and understand the difficult terms and keywords that contain in the Malay manuscript? Third, what type of reference material that can be used to refer the specific terms of Malay manuscript?
Next, it's the significant research. Okay, regarding to our topic about the database development on Malay manuscript around 17th until 19th century about the medicine, we as a team had decided to use or to build the database development as the main role to succeed our research. Okay, why we choose the database development? Okay, there are several reasons. Due to the blurry and vanished and fat text, because as we know that the manuscript is the old handwritten book, so there are a few difficulties and also the problem that being faced by the researchers and also the readers in identify the terms, the keyword that cannot be familiar and understand. So there are also several manuscripts that the page was torn, and the last one is the manuscript that we know is using the old handwritten and that cannot be understand also and be read. Especially for the beginners that want to make a research about the manuscript. Okay, there are several benefits in developing the database. Okay, the first one is we are included two kinds of manuscript that can be referred, such as the first one is medicine and the second one is around 20 books in medicine and 10 in religions. Okay, the second one is we are also highlighted the term and also the keyword, the essential keyword that we found in the manuscript that cannot be read and understand by the readers. Okay, the third one is using this database development, the researchers or the student doesn't have to bring the physical one everywhere, so they just have to access to this database to find out or to use the manuscript for their research.
The first one is analysis phases. Okay, the objective is to analyze the needs of database development on Malay manuscript medicine from 7th until 19th century. Okay, there are three activities. The first one is list out all the objectives and then identify the needs of using database in this research. And the last one is investigate existing database that been used. The method that we use is document analysis, instrument is us as the researcher, data analysis is need of assessment, and tool of analysis is manual analysis. The second phase is design. Objective, we have to analyze related manuscript and being able to design a database development on Malay manuscript seen from 17th until 19th century. The activities is need to specify content selection, subject matters and lesson planning for the database. The method of data collection is document analysis, sample all the manuscript that related to the medicine from 17th until 19th century, and the instrument is us as the researcher. Data analysis on database design, and tool of analysis is manual analysis. Okay, next is development phase. The objective is to develop the database development on Malay manuscript medicine from 17th until 19th century. The activities or the step, the researchers need to create and assemble content in design phase to build the database, which is content development and storyboard development. The instrument that we use is the database development software, data analysis on the database development process and being analyzed manually. Implementation phase, or the objective is to implement development on Malay manuscript medicine from 17th until 19th century. The activities or the step, the database features and learners activities need to be installed and managed. The method of data collection, the researcher had involved 10 participants or respondents as the sample. The instrument is us as the researcher. Data analysis, the researcher has used application performance and analysis. Tool analysis is a manual analysis. The last phase is evaluation. The objective is aiming to evaluate development on Malay manuscript medicine from 17th until 19th century. The activities or the 3 steps, pre and post test of the application, usability survey of the database, and last one is being able to compare the result of the database. The method, sample and the instrument. 50 participants or the respondents involved the survey by using questionnaire, data analysis, usability and linear analysis, and Google Form had been used as the tool of analysis.
Next is literature review. There are 16 sources for literature review that were divided into 2, which are manuscript and also database. These are the list of literature review in manuscript topic, which contain total of 12 sources. The summary of all the sources in this topic are mostly about general meaning of manuscript, the Malay medicine and all manuscript, the way of preservation process of Malay manuscript, the discussion about the content of knowledge in Malay manuscript and all Malay texts, and the reason why the manuscript need to be preserved. Next, there are 4 sources in database topic. The summary of all these sources in this topic are mostly about to establish more digitized of Malay manuscript, to ensure accessibility and use of manuscript collections and open source software, and to examine the current process of teaching, learning and researching Malay manuscript, and to identify the importance of digital enhancements of manuscript and the technique that have been used.